Welcome back to another video here. Today we're going to be talking about the Kershaw Livewire. I just got this earlier this week and I'm excited to be doing a video on it now. Finally, I've wanted this for a long time and finally found one in stock and actually on sale for the 4th of July, which is fantastic. So very nice and very pleased to be able to have this finally and be able to talk about it and kind of share some information with it as well. I love this thing. I've wanted it for a while. I've held it in a bunch of stores. I just haven't been able to find the right kind of, I just wanted really the basic model. I didn't want any serrations or anything on it. And I was also waiting for it to go on sale and found all of that this weekend, luckily, this past weekend. So excited to talk about it today. We'll start out with size comparisons as we usually do. Got the Microtech Ultratech here, kind of the standard for out the front knives across the industry, has been for a long time. Great knife, very well made. And because my lovely Benchmade shootout broke, we'll throw a bag out on there as well. You can see it's a very just reasonable size, kind of mid-size, not too big, not too small, nothing crazy. I'll throw a paramilitary 2 in there as well, just so you can kind of get a feel for what that will look like. It's similar in size to the paramilitary 2. It's also similar in size to, I just got a couple weeks ago, or months ago, I guess at this point, the Microtech Cypher 2, the new model. So they're very similar in size. It's a very nice size. Kershaw Livewire is very lightweight. It feels kind of like an Ultratech in the hand, which is awesome. It's Magna Cut on the blade. And I always talk about, I love that they lasered the American flag on there. I think that's a really nice touch. Very easy for them to do, and it just makes it look real nice. You have Kershaw Auto on the blade, which is awesome. Doesn't really rattle, which is, again, great. In and out the front, sometimes they're prone to rattling. The buttons will be a little loose and things like that. But what is really nice about this knife is the button, or the actuator, or whatever you want to call it, switch, is really, really, really smooth and easy to use. You could pretty much do it with one hand, which is not something that you can say about all different, like Microtechs or other brands and companies that make out the front. So that's an awesome feature or part of the design, whatever you want to call it. I think it looks great. It feels pretty nice in the hand. The one thing that I will say is when you use this without gloves on, you kind of switch it a little bit. This ribbing here, or what, I don't know what the correct word is to call it, but this grooves or ribs or whatever make it a little odd to hold in the hand like that. I'm used to holding it like this, but you almost want to hold it down here where those are not there. And that's not something I've found on a lot of other knives. I'm not really bothered by jimping, I think is what they call it. So that's the jimping. So like on, let me see if I have like a Benchmade right here. A lot of people will say the Mini Damas has a lot of that jimping all over the place, and it's real rough on the hands. I've never really had a problem with that. But on this knife, it's so textured that it really is uncomfortable kind of on the pointer finger to hold, and then the blockiness of it combined with that, I think, is what makes it a little cumbersome to hold on the hand when you're holding it like that. But it really is not that big of a deal. That's just one minor thing I did notice. I'm not really bothered by it, but just something to keep in mind if that's really important to you, is the kind of grip or feel of it. Just make sure you can hold it in the hand and use it a couple times. You'll kind of notice what I'm saying. Your hand starts to move a little bit. But again, not bad at all. It's still quite comfortable to hold. Other than that, and the actuator being so easy to use makes it really nice to. It makes up for that part of the design. You will notice one other thing. Let's see. I'll see if I can do it for the camera here. See if you can hear it. There's that squeak when you close the blade. I don't know how well it's going to show up kind of on the camera or the microphone, but when you bring the switch all the way back slowly, you can't hear it. But when you do it, I'm not sure if it showed up on the camera, but when you kind of bring it back all the way in one smooth motion, it will squeak a little bit. And I put a ton of oil in here. I've tried to oil the button up. You can kind of see on there. So I'll do that again. Again, I have only had this for a week, so that might be because it's not broken in yet. But it does sound and feel a little odd. So the button will move a little bit if you kind of tap with your finger, but it will not rattle. I mean, you can hear there's almost no rattling in there, which is nice. But it will, the button does feel a little odd. And it's a lot more smooth, you'll notice, than Microtech's button. You'll see here the Microtech button is wide all the way through the middle. This one kind of gets narrow as you come to the middle, which, again, just a different design. Because the button's so easy to use, it doesn't really matter that you have a full grip on it on your finger, but that is something to note. There's squeaking again, so now you might be able to hear it there. But that is something to, maybe other people have had problems with that. It's not a problem to me, I guess. Maybe problem's not the right word, but that is something to, again, be aware of. If that squeak will annoy you. Again, if you're outside, you can barely hear it. Wherever else you're using it, unless it's really quiet, you probably won't hear it. But if that's something to do with the button, or maybe me not taking care of it properly, yeah, we'll find out in the next couple weeks. If I figure it out, I'll let y'all know and make a video of it. But otherwise, very, very pleased with this. It looks real nice. The blade came sharp. I kind of touched it up a little bit. The grind was a little bit uneven. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show that on camera as well. Hold it up there. I really like the shape of this blade too. That's another real cool thing that they've done with this. It's almost looks like that dagger style, but it actually is functional. It's real easy to sharpen. It's not a big deal, but yes, I don't know. Maybe you can see the grind. The grind was a little uneven. I kind of tried to fix it as best I could. Whether or not that actually worked, I don't know. There is no glass breaker on the end of this, which is very common on a lot of out the front automatic knives. A lot of companies will do that. Kershaw, as far as I know, I don't think they've done it on any of their automatic launch series. Like, I have the only other one I have is the Launch 6 right here, which does not have a glass breaker. It's just kind of a pointy end. But they don't have it on here. And the pocket clip. Pocket clip is not great. A lot of people trashed it online and said it was terrible. It was useless. I have not actually had any problems with it. It went into my pocket fine and came out fine. It was a little tough to get in there, but once you kind of did it a couple times, you got the hang of it, and were able to get the angle right. I wish they had done something more like their launch pocket clip. I like this clip a lot. I think it's done quite well. It's easy to use, and it actually seems big enough for the knife. This one just seems a little small, but a lot of people, I think, were trashing it just because it doesn't look great on the back of the knife. It could be a little longer, but it is what it is. You can take it off. If you hate it, take it off. Don't use it. I don't use a pocket clip on some of my knives. It just depends on which one. So I'll probably end up giving this a try for a couple more weeks and see how it goes. I'll let you know if it's worth using. But I think that should wrap up the Livewire kind of overview here. As I continue to use it more and have it longer, I'll let you know if I have any problems with it, as always. And if you have any questions or want to see any other size comparisons or have any other need for any other general info, please just let me know. I'd be happy to provide that. And thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing. I just mentioned that we hit 700 subscribers, which is fantastic. This channel's grown really fast, and I'm really happy to see that and very proud of it. So really appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for watching it. It really means a lot that you're supporting me, and take care. Stay tuned for the next one.